Fidic, a guide for practitioners book, page 1. Forward. In 1999, a suite of 3 new conditions of contract was published by Fidic. Following, the basic structure and wording harmonized and updated around the previous Fidic design, build, and turnkey contract, or the 1992 Orange Book. These conditions, known as the Fidic Rainbow, were the conditions of contract for constructions, the so-called Red Book, for works designed by the employer, planned and design build, the so-called Yellow Book, for works designed by the contractor, EPC or turnkey projects, the so-called Silver Book, for works designed by the contractor. The first is intended for construction works, where the employer is responsible for the design, as for the previous so-called Red Book 4th editions 1987, with an important role for the engineer. The other 2 conditions of contract are intended for situations when the contractor is responsible for the design. The plan and design-build contract has the traditional engineer, while the EPC or turnkey contract has a 2-party arrangement, generally with an employee's representative as one of the parties. The 1999 conditions of contract for plan and design or build retain the essential elements of the earlier Orange Book. It had been noted, however, that new trends in project financing and management, especially related to PEFI and BOT, required a different set of conditions, and the conditions of contract for EPC or turnkey projects were drafted to cater to this. The EPC or turnkey contract complements but does not replace the plan and design build contract in that it was intended to be used in a rather specific context. While it was recognized that there were alternative scenarios encompassing the design, build, and operate service or DBO, the so-called Gold Book concept, Fidic recognized that the various scenarios required different contract conditions that could be used where long-term operation was involved. The conditions of contract for design, build, and operate projects, the so-called Gold Book, for works designed by the contractor were published in 2008.